Hi there, Linda from Let's Talk Prepping, and I just want to bring you the news and what's going on around the world. And this is actually what's going on in our country so that you can get prepared and be ready for it. And naturalnews.com, Sunday, May 22nd, half of America to go dark this summer due to Biden's Build Blackouts Better. And this is by Ethan Huff. And a perfect storm of mega droughts, heat waves, and reduced power generation, thanks to green energy initiatives, is shaping up to leave half of America completely in the dark this summer. Rolling blackouts from the Great Lakes to the West Coast are expected to be a common occurrence this year, according to Bloomberg, citing a new report from the North American Electric Reliability Corporation, a regulatory body that manages the stability of the electrical grid. And it's warning that the West Coast especially will be extremely strained during the warmest month of the year. Historic drought conditions reduce hydroelectric power generation due to decreasing reservoir levels. That's already occurring at the Hoover Dam, which is days away from dropping below 1,050 feet. Hoover Dam is now at the lowest level on record, and it's just one of many such dams throughout the West. And it's a perfect storm waiting to happen that will produce electricity deficits that may force power companies into rolling blackouts for stability purposes. Of course, they're blaming Russia, saying cyber attacks will take down the grid. However, our generation capacity has declined by 2.3%, even as demand has increased. The Midwest is also in pretty bad shape, with the grid expected to be extremely tight throughout the summer months. Some grids have to source power from neighboring grids if they run into shortages, which could trigger blackouts. At least 40% of the country is now at risk of losing power at a moment's notice. Are you in that 40%? Think about it. Can you survive? How long will you be out of power? Will it be 15 minutes, 2 hours, 20 hours, a week? Will something break down and they can't get it in? So think about what you're going to do now. Think about getting your water supply. Think about maybe getting a solar generator or a gas generator, something that you might need, especially for the heat. The Electric Reliability Council of Texas has issued multiple warnings as of late about how summer heat waves could push the system over the edge. Texas is known to be hot and should be prepared. No telling what will happen to the Lone Star State this year. California is also in dire straits with a drought that is shrinking reservoir levels combined with decommissioning of fossil fuel plants. And keep this in mind that this is all expected to hit at a time when gas and energy prices are skyrocketing. Inflation is through the roof and food shortages are expected to increase. Hell on earth is about to be unleashed, it seems. America's slipping into an abyss as households get a taste of what it's like to live in Venezuela. Actually, I just did a video on that. You might want to check it out. So that's from Natural News. And then if you look over here, this is CNN. And CNN says, blackouts possible this summer due to heat and extreme weather, officials warn. That could cause the power grid to buckle across vast areas of the country this summer, leading to electricity shortages and blackouts. The power grid is extremely delicate and electricity supply must always meet the demand, experts warn. If not, capacity shortfall can occur. Forced power outages, also known as rolling blackouts, are initiated during these situations, which is what millions of Americans run the risk of seeing this summer to prevent long-term damage to the grid. But our grid is in such bad shape, I'm not sure it's really going to help. And then over here, this is WFCN News out of Illinois. coverage you can count on in southern Illinois. Southern Illinois at higher risk for rolling blackouts this summer, says government agency. And according to their assessment, southern Illinois is located within a small portion of the Midwest at high risk for outages. They'll have insufficient operating reserves in normal peak conditions. Other areas in the high-risk category include lower portions of Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Michigan. The reasoning for these areas being referred to as high-risk areas involves three factors: increased usage during the summer heat, a 2% loss of capacity, and improvements currently underway on a main transmission line that was damaged due to severe weather. So here's a map of the United States and actually some of Canada. And all of this red is the high-risk area. These are the states in the high risk. And this orange area is the elevated risk. And then, of course, the gray area is the low risk. So if you're in any of these red areas, take heed. Do something now while you can. Get your water stored. Get some backup generator. Make sure you have propane, gasoline, whatever it is you're going to use. And again, if I go down here on WFCN News, it says, meanwhile, energy bills in Illinois are expected to nearly double by next month. So they're going to have rolling blackouts and your energy bills are going to double. So, and then I went over here to Yahoo and I just put in rolling blackouts 2022. And look here, it's not just electricity we're heading for a shortage of diesel, jet fuel, and gasoline. Blackouts possible this summer due to heat and extreme weather, officials warn. Sri Lanka is running out of food. A hot, deadly summer is coming with frequent blackouts. And these are all Bloomberg, Business Insider, ABC, Hot Air. These are mainstream media telling us this. St. Louis Post-Dispatch, a vast swath of North America from the Great Lakes to the West Coast is at risk of blackouts this summer. Kansas at elevated risk. This one's from Hot Air. It says the coming blackouts do not say you were not warned. This is from hotair.com. The coming blackouts do not say you were not warned. For regular readers of this site, today's news will not likely come as a surprise, but much of the nation seems to remain unaware of it. And it just talks about the North American Electric Reliability Corporation releasing its latest reliability assessment. There is no emergency Federal Reserve electricity that the President release with an executive order. When demand for electricity exceeds supply, the utility companies will either have to begin a series of rolling blackouts in all of the affected states, or the grid will suffer crippling damage and be down for months. Do the people in charge actually understand how reliant modern America is on the power? This just won't be California and Texas. A minimum of 14 states will be hit by this rolling sequence. We're going to have a problem with diesel fuel. I'll go through that maybe tomorrow. If this is happening all over the West Coast and mid-America, you can bet it's going to be coming over to the East Coast at some point in time. So let us know what you're doing to prepare for the rolling blackouts in the coming summer. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.